to St. Louis now.
Oh no! Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today we're going to take a look at a replay sent in from Alexi. Yes, and I'm hoping too that the video quality might be a little better in terms of jiggity janks. I've been trying to fix it. I don't know what the problem is, but whatever. We'll hope. We'll hope. In the Scharnhorst, and we're in a Scharnhorst division, top tier on Fault Line. So this is pretty much one of those battles where everything has gone right from the beginning. Of course, the Scharnhorst is an amazing ship. Nothing wrong with the Scharnhorst. And on top of that, you have two other division mates who are also in Scharnhorsts. So you know that Alexi and division mates are coordinating their efforts amongst themselves. So obviously, this is going to be a coordinated effort between the three Scharnhorsts. Now, the other bonus here is this Fault Line. Fault Line, it's one of the original maps, right? Well, maybe not original, but I've been playing Fault Line for a long time, and it is one of those maps that maybe for some people it's just boring because you've played it so often, but I love this map. This is one of my favorite maps to play at Tier 7, and the reason why I love it so much is because I'm so familiar with it. It's so... it's almost intuitive now. It's just, I just know where I want to go, how I want to do things, and when I see things, fall apart, what I should do to react to that. Now, playing standard battle on Fault Line, I don't enjoy as much as playing domination on Fault Line. Domination with the 3 points, I think, is much better than the standard battle Fault Line. But still, I think this is a great map. So you've got that going for you. At least, I would say you have that going for you. Quality map that, really familiar with. I assume Alexi's familiar with it because Alexi's been playing ships for a while, so, obviously familiar with the map here. And then the third thing that is going on here as well that is amazing is top tier. Yes, top tier. So that's not too bad at all. You can see, right off the beginning, there are aircraft carriers. We are going to have some concern for the aircraft carriers. If we note the aircraft carriers, though, I believe that those are Tier 6 aircraft carriers, so that is not so bad at all. The Scharnhorst doesn't have amazing AA, but it definitely does have a bunch of guns on it, and they will shoot down planes, especially if those planes are of lower tier. That's pretty fantastic. So we're cruising on over, and we're heading over here to the east. The east side of the map is actually not a bad place to consider going when you are in a coordinated division like this, or if you're playing, like ranked battles are back as well, so if you're playing on ranked battles, it's not a bad place to go. The problem that does seem to happen over here is people want to be on the furthest side of the map. They either want to be on the extreme east or the extreme west, so you come over here and you have the channel, right? We can actually see one of our allied ships going into this channel. And if there are a number of destroyers, and if the destroyers are in that channel, things can go really bad for you very, very quickly. And people seem to get lured into it, and they always want to go down there for whatever reason. So, because they don't want to have to deal with the channel, everyone will go to the west. Alright, we are in some battleships in a division, so it makes sense to come over here to the east and see what you can do, see what you can get accomplished. And we see, actually, uncharacteristically, the enemies have gone over here to the east as well, and it is something that you do tend to see more often on standard battle than you would on domination. On domination, people are pretty eager to get that A cap over into the west, where over here in the east, the C cap, not so much. Standard battle, we don't have to even worry about these other cap points, so it does open up the door for going different directions, choosing a different path, and maybe something that you would normally wouldn't do, I suppose. So, all these things are coming into play here, and it's going to make it a pretty fantastic battle. Now, ranked battles. Yes, ranked battles are back. I have worked my way up. I started at rank 17 this season, I believe, and I managed to get myself to rank 14. So, still working away at that. I'm going to try and get a few battles in a day and hopefully get a few victories and work my way on to 10. I do actually have some fantastic replays in the Fuso. Just amazing. Like, I literally logged into ships the first day, Ranked battles is available. I was at rank 17. I won 3 battles, maybe 2 battles, and I instantly got to rank 15. And in both of those battles, earned myself some Confederate medals, some high caliber medals, some Dreadnought medals, some Arsonist medals. Yes, in a Fuso. I know, it was amazing. But it's still recorded in the old resolution, which would result in jiggity-janked video. So whether or not I show it, I'm not sure. But ranked are back, and I would encourage everyone to take some time and play in ranked. You know, don't start in ranked with the, well, if you are on the fence about ranked, I wouldn't say, you know, go into ranked and try and get rank 1 right away, right? And play ranked so that you can get to rank 1. That's not necessarily why you should be playing ranked battles. I mean, obviously for some people it will be, and, you know, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But for others, it's not going to be. You know, they would find ranked, nah, right? It just would be too frustrating. But in ranked, they offer you a number of significant prizes, including flags, gold, premium time, money, like in-game credits. It is so worth it. Even if you just make a few ranks in the season, it would be so worth it, because you're going to get stuff that you wouldn't have had in the first place. So I would encourage everyone to take some time and play some ranked. What I generally do, how I approach ranked, because I do get fairly frustrated fairly quickly. In real life, I'm actually quite a patient person, but here in game, I can get very, very salty very quickly. You know, I'm not yelling at people and talking about it. I will get quiet, you know, and I have push to talk for a reason, because I'm cursing. I'm cursing. But anyway, what I do is I will play battles until I get a defeat. Once I get and a pretty bad defeat where I just don't have it in me anymore to continue, I'll just stop for the day. Just stop, take a breath, or take a step back. Even if you play one battle a day and it's a victory, that's fine. No one says you have to grind out to rank 1. And speaking about ranked as well, I mean, another reason that I get frustrated with ranked near the end is I'm grinding through. But I'm grinding through. It's ranked. It shouldn't be a grind, right? Anyone can get to rank 1 as long as you grind enough battles. You'll do it. But it shouldn't necessarily be that way. But anyway, back to the replay at hand. We can see that while I was jabbering on about different sorts of things, the enemy has pushed their way kind of up the channel, right? We can see a Miyoko here in front of us. We noted as well there was an enemy ship that Alexi was shooting at, and there's actually a second battleship there in the channel as well. So the enemies have worked their way up, and it does look as though we're getting into a situation here where our allies are going to be putting a whole lot of pressure on the enemy base, and it'll be up to Alexi and his division mates here to hold back the enemies until the allies manage to cap the enemy base, or you sink all the enemy ships. So yeah, that's what it's basically going to boil down to. And this Scharnhorst is a pretty decent defense ship, and I use it loosely because you got to remember, historically the ship was never built to fight a defensive war. It was all about the offense for the German Navy. And specifically, I mean, the Scharnhorst and the guys now were surface raider ships, right? So they were supposed to be fast, get in there, shoot it up, and then get out. So, defensive-wise, not so great. And it's because of the turrets. You've got 2 turrets on the front, 1 turret on the back. That means the ship is going to be have 2/3 of its firepower available to it when it's straight on, and only 1/3 available when it's stern on. So there is that. But you do have the option of angling, and we can see the angling taking place right now that Alexi is doing. And this is something too that's very important as well to keep in mind in your ships, right? You can try to get some good angles going on and still have all your guns firing. In some ships, you can manage to pull it off. The Scharnhorst, I wouldn't say is one of those, because if you're in this battle, it definitely did. It definitely did in this battle, but keep in mind we're tier 7. Scharnhorst has the capability of running into tier 9s, and in a tier 9 battle or a tier 8 battle with the battleships, it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to do that sort of thing and take damage, ricochet incoming shells. You will take a crap ton of damage, so you do want to keep this in mind, but not something that we necessarily have to concern ourselves too much with. So if we look at the enemy ships we have off in the distance, we notice a number of enemy battleships, right? And this is not so great. You can see one of Alexi's division mates is actually taking quite a pounding, on about half health, a little over half health, and the enemies are kind of focused on that player, and so, you know, it leaves Alexi here not taking too much damage, which is pretty great, because if you can manage to spread the damage out, it's a lot easier to do in a division because you're coordinating with them amongst yourselves. But if you're able to spread the damage out amongst yourselves, it really does work out quite great. We have still the enemy Miyoko coming at us here as well, and if we note the mini-map, we do see that, yeah, the allies are pretty much almost at the enemy's base now, and we're in the situation now where, yeah, we're playing the defense on our base. We do have some allies moving in to help us out, though, which is fantastic. We do want their support, and in addition to this as well, you can see that Alexi and his division mates are also sort of coordinating. Well, I'm not sure if it was coordinating, but it did seem as though they were alternating between their high explosive and armor piercing, depending on who was firing what and what was happening to who, right? Enemy guys now off in the distance. And that was something to note as well in the matchmaker, because the matchmaker was consisted of all guys nows on the enemy team, was their top battleships, 3 of them, and then the 3 Scharnhorst. Now, Scharnhorst versus guys now, oh, I don't know. I don't know. It depends on what mood the guns are in on the old guys now, because if they feel like doing a bunch of damage, yeah, they will definitely take out a Scharnhorst. It will happen. However, more likely than not, they will not feel like taking out targets, and yeah, they'll fail, and the Scharnhorst will come out on top with the HE. You'll end up doing more damage over time than the guys now could possibly hope to do, just because of the accuracy and dispersion of the guns. So continuing to defend against the enemies, we do see them slowly edging forward, right? But we do finally have some destroyers that are near in and able to launch torpedoes, and we can see that one of those torpedoes did find its mark. I think it was no, that's a cruiser, wasn't it? Yeah, cruiser. Anyway, someone torped someone, and it was fantastic. It worked out quite well, which is great. I mean, now we're down to 4 enemy ships that are encroaching on our base. We can see our allies actually did get pushed back down there against the enemies. The enemies actually did manage to push back that little advance onto their base, and it's a little surprising. Was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen, but again, you know, Scharnhorst is up to the task. We've got 3 of them still. All 3 members of the division are still going here, so we can still get a lot accomplished here. And keep in mind as well with the Scharnhorst that it does really pay off to switch your ammo types, right? To fire your high explosives at the battleships that are going bow on or stern on, or fire the high explosive at ships at range. When you get in close, switch over to your armor piercing if you do come across an enemy cruiser. This enemy cruiser will not know what hit it. It'll be amazing, I assure you. Anyway, shots go into the enemy battleship here. We have torpedoes on the way out for the enemy conning as well, hoping that those torpedoes will take down the enemy, and if not, I mean, obviously the player's burning here as well, so, you know, there's that possibility. So we're going to switch over to another enemy here, because the enemy conning is now gone. We can see, though, that the enemy that we wanted to switch over to is actually in the smoke, and that's not so great. People in the smoke, oh man. It's not that they're, you know, bad or nothing. I mean, it's valid tactic and whatnot, but oh, it is so annoying when you are in a battleship. Oh, oh yeah. It was close there. Alexi's division mate almost ate the torpedo. I don't know. I mean, Alexi ate the torpedo and was able to repair the damage right away, so that's fantastic. Whether or not his ally would have been able to do the same, not sure. It was probably best that Alexi ate it anyway. focusing in on another enemy guys now. So we're going to fire off our our armor piercing at the enemy guys now here. Important to note too, I don't think I mentioned it all or when we were talking about the ammo types, but you just saw how much damage there the Scharnhorst did to that enemy guys now. Firing armor piercing. The armor piercing on the guys now, on the Scharnhorst is good. It is good armor piercing, but only at close ranges and with broadsides. It's limited in that regard, and it just is. I mean, it's probably how the Scharnhorst is balanced out a little here, but this is just what we have to deal with when we are playing in the Scharnhorst. But whatever, it's still a fantastic ship, and you can see as well. Alexi's quick to switch over to the armor piercing, even though that wasn't too bad of damage on the Congo out there, but you can see, I mean, you add a little bit of distance to the armor piercing on the Scharnhorst rounds here, and you're just going to lose a whole lot of damage potential. Fire off your high explosive at these targets at range. Save the armor piercing for those that decide to come in a little close, and maybe even forget that you have torpedoes. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised that that still happens. It's quite amazing. Trying to focus down this enemy Congo, right? You can see that the enemy Congo is one of the last ships remaining from this push that the enemy was trying to do on Alexi's base. So this is great. We almost have these ships gone. I think that we are tied overall for ships at this point. That we are. We can see the enemy is burning and trying to get the last ram in there on one of our ally battleships, and luckily misses it. That would have been tragic. But still, enemy burns, goes down. Alexi gets the kill. Awesome. Alexi's on pretty low health though here, so we're going to need to play it a little careful. Yeah, I mean, even if we die at this point in time, wouldn't be too bad, because we did just take down an enemy battleship, and now we are up one ship, even though it wouldn't be an even trade, right? Scharnhorst for, I don't know what battleship just sank, probably a Conning, I'll say Conning. Wouldn't be an even trade. Gonna line up some torpedoes here on the enemy ship that is coming around the island. This might be a nice little sneak shot for these torpedoes, which is always fantastic. If you can get these shots off, excellent, right? Now, 3 torpedoes that the Scharnhorst has may not be enough to outright kill higher tier battleships if they eat all 3, but still, it will do a bunch of damage. Now, if all 3 torpedoes were to have hit this enemy, or were to hit this enemy guys now, that would do a significant chunk and probably take the player down. I'm pretty sure there's enough damage there to take down the guys now, given the hit points that are remaining. So we can see we're getting in close now. The guys now does have better secondary armament than the Scharnhorst does. Only, though, if the guys now has upgraded to the last hull. So important to note there. Now we see our torpedoes go into the enemy guys now. Oh, almost hit with all 3. We hit with 2, though, and that enemy guys now is just about to die. We can see that we've switched over here now to one of Alexi's division mates, who is now just going to finish off this enemy guys now here, and there we go. Fantastic. 3 enemy ships remaining to our 4, but we do have some hit point issues here, right? Obviously, this Scharnhorst does not have very many hit points left, and we do still see a number of enemy battleships that exist. Here we're just zooming over to our enemy Independence to take a look at what that player is doing, and then we jump back over to the friendly Koning. Do love the Koning. Never kept it, and I know I've talked about it, but the more I see of her, I think I might have to go back and buy it. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like the Congo too, though, at tier 5, right? That's kind of my go-to battleship at tier 5. Anyway, whatever. Searching around for the last remaining enemies, we do note as well that one of the remaining enemies is an aircraft carrier, so we do still kind of have to keep the player in mind. If we take a look at the minimap, we do see as well that we have one of our allies down there near the enemy base, which is great. That player should be in a position to start capping the enemy base anytime now. On top of that, we do see the enemies pop up here in front of us. So it does look like the enemies are probably just going to charge in here to our base, last-ditch effort to start capping it, and we're going to see what we are going to be able to do here to prevent this. Now, at this point in time, Alexi and another division mate are both gone. It's just the one remaining division mate left, and then, of course, we do have this Koning here in our cap as well. And then behind the Koning, we have more allied reinforcements as well, because our allies that didn't manage to push into the enemy base actually did manage to get themselves back up north and are now in a good position to start supporting. So we can see a lot of shots going into the enemy battleship here and basically almost killed the enemy battleship pretty decently. We can see Alexi's division mate has launched off another salvo of torpedoes into the enemy guys. Now there we go, guys now down. Fantastic. Don't need to deal with this battleship anymore. 2 enemy ships remain. We know that one of these enemy ships is just on the other side of these little islands. We know this because before we started to engage the enemy guys now there, if you were looking at the minimap, you would have seen the second enemy ship there. So Cunning is going to try and get himself into a position to fire in on this enemy. We are currently leading the enemies as well in overall points, so this might come down to points here. So enemy battleship pops up. We end up getting the overall points there for the kill on the enemy aircraft carrier, and battle is over. Victory is ours. So taking a look at the results, we can see 238,000 credits earned, 100,000 damage dealt in the 1 battle, number of fires, the 1 kill, the torpedo hits, 27 secondary battery hits. Alexi himself finishes 2nd overall on the team, with the division mate finishing 1st and another division mate finishing 4th, which is not too bad at all. 1,300 base experience. Now we can see how some of the damage has broken down here amongst the various ships. We'll note the Congo and the guys now. Oh man, that poor guy's now 45,000 damage dealt to that person alone. On a standard account, we end up walking away with 188,000 credits. So not too shabby at all. And thank you very much, Alexi, for sending in the replay. If any of you have a replay you want to send in, be sure to do so. Thotgor1@gmail.com. Include the screenshots if possible, and I'll be sure to get it up on the channel. So that is today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to leave any comments you have for me in the video comment section below. Love reading those and responding back to them. Remember to hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.